Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Mecha Mike, the anime loving Cowboys fan. And man, today we got to talk about it. I know you see the title. But before we do, please subscribe to the channel so I can keep giving you guys this fire sports content. So without further ado, let's get it. Man. I was expecting this, but again, play games, you win stupid prizes. Uh, but what did the Cowboys expect? Well, let's backtrack a little bit, uh, and let's talk about what's actually happening. So, if you don't know by now, CeeDee Lamb, the Cowboys' star wide receiver, and arguably one of the best wide receivers in the NFL right now, is absent from Cowboys training camp. But am I surprised? No, no, and no again. I'm not surprised, and this is a problem of Jerry Jones making. You have three guys that you have to pay: Dak, Micah, and obviously CeeDee Lamb. And at this point, none of them have contracts. And I get it. There's a process, takes time, but at this point in time, I don't care. The Cowboys are in a situation where their core guys are all basically on 1 year deals. No smart organization does this. And even if you pay CD, it doesn't make sense to not pay Dak as well. And I like CD a lot, but we can't pretend like before this season, you were hearing it from Cowboys Nation and a lot of people in media were saying, the media pundits, and they didn't even think CD was a top 10 wide receiver. So it's coming from Cowboys Nation and majority of the media. We're saying CD is not a top 10 receiver. And obviously, CD has to thank Dak for that. So I'm not going to just pretend like Trey Lance is going to go in there and make CD even better because he couldn't do anything with the weapons he had in San Fran. What makes you think, oh, let's pay CD and not give Dak money, let him go, and Trey Lance is all of a sudden going to just come in there and just be great? That's not happening. And I think the thing that's even worse is when you run down CD's stats, um, it just doesn't make sense that at this point he hasn't been paid. So I got some stats for you guys. Let's run down the stats and see why it's a no-brainer to pay CD Lamb. But again, my opinion, but these stats are real. So let's get into it. So this is why, based on the stats, why the Cowboys should pay CD Lamb. CD Lamb is the number one targeted wide receiver, and this is all according to last year's stats. So last year, 2023, CeeDee Lamb was the number one targeted wide receiver in the NFL with 181 targets. CeeDee Lamb was ranked number one in receptions with 135 receptions. He was number two in receiving yards with 1,749 yards. He was number one in yards after the catch. He was number one in total touchdowns with 14. And again, he was number one in red zone targets with 31 red zone targets. So based on that, it's obvious what needs to happen. CeeDee Lamb to the Cowboys is a crucial part of their offense. He's heavily used, and I can promise the offense will not look the same if you don't pay him. So what's the holdup? What are we doing at this point? Uh, but it's an easy question. The holdup is Jerry Jones and his son Stephen Jones. And I get it, the business aspect of it. You want to get CD as cheap as possible. But the problem is, if you wanted to do that and you were trying to be smart business people, you would have signed him earlier this year at whatever going rate was available. But now you saw Amon St. Brown. He got a 4 year, $120 million contract, which is 30 million a year. That is the going rate. And if I'm smart like CeeDee Lamb, I'm gonna want more money than that. Because CD can go to the Cowboys, and them waiting is what costs them even more money. It's gonna so for them to get CD, it's more than likely gonna be anywhere between 33 to 35 million per year because they waited. And because they waited even more, so Dak's price tag is going up. So just going to it, it seemed to be more and more important to get those guys locked up in their contracts. But now the affordability problem is coming up because now you have three guys that are going to reset the market at their position. And then what's the excuse going to be then? Oh, we can't afford to keep those guys. And then they're going to start talking about cap and, oh, we don't have any money, this and that, even though they didn't spend any money, but they don't have any money before they even spent it. But all these problems are because of this, all in season. This is the all in season that we're getting. Mike McCarthy's job's on the line. And best weapon's not in camp. Quarterback on a 1 year deal. It's just, you're setting so many things up for failure. And I think the worst part is inaction is really crippling this team because you can't put a team together when no one knows who's going to be there. You can't make concrete decisions from an offensive standpoint if you don't know if people are going to be there. And Dallas Cowboys, their offense was their bread and butter last year. That was the one thing you could say, I know the offense is going to play well. Out of all the games, the offense was the most consistent thing. But we're disrupting all that because we don't want to pay guys. And I'm of the philosophy, if you're not going to pay them, trade them. Because you just waste people's time at this point. Dragging it out for the news headlines so you can say, oh, talk about us, is hurting the team. I need to know who's starting. I need to know who's going to get the ball, who is going to be the priority, how is the offense going to be set up? Because at this point, we don't know. It's just, I just don't understand it. I don't know, but either way, this problem needs to be fixed. So CD, Dak need to be under contract because without them, it just doesn't make sense and it doesn't help the team. And if the Joneses want to just blow up everything and uh, just do it's their team, they own the organization, they can do whatever they want. But if you're gonna just blow up everything, just go ahead and do it. So at least people know what's gonna happen. You want to put Trey Lance as the starting quarterback, go ahead. Um, you want to go, you want to, go, you want to, make Brandon Cooks the number one guy, go ahead. You want Mike, you want to get a bunch of number one draft picks out of trading Micah, go ahead. But dragging things out and then blaming the guys for being set up to fail, Jerry, you can't get away with that another year in a row. You cannot do that again. I know you're going to have help from the media. They're going to push that narrative. Oh, it's Dak's fault. It's always Dak's fault. But I'm telling you, you let Dak go, you let CD go, you let Micah go, they're going to ball out somewhere else. And the Cowboys are going to look terrible when they do. As in, you had these guys and you let them go because you didn't want to pay them. For what reason? And I feel like at the end of the day, they all will get paid. But and if they don't all get paid, I think Micah will probably be the one that they'll let go because let's just be real, Jerry prioritizes offense. So at the end of the day, if they're not paying all three, I think Micah will be cut loose. I don't want that to happen. I want them to all to get paid, but we'll see. Because for me, like again, it's just simple as that: pay CD, pay Dak, pay Micah, and let's please just stop with all the games. But again, this is my opinion. You don't have to agree, but it is what it is. Uh, but thank you guys again for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. And I'll see you guys next time. I'm out.